Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. Today, we're diving into the world of total idiots at work, those moments when people had just one job to do and managed to fail in the most ridiculous ways. From epic construction fails to mind-boggling design disasters, get ready to laugh, shock, and wonder how some of these moments even happened. So sit back and let's jump into the chaos of people turning the simplest tasks into unforgettable fails. Number 1. Waiter. Wedding cakes are quite a big deal. They're often extravagant and expensive, and couples put a lot of thought into how they want them to look for their special cake-cutting moment. However, one couple never even got the chance to cut their wedding cake because the waiter accidentally took that moment away from them. The bride and groom were standing by a table covered with a white tablecloth, where an extravagant 5-tier cake was sitting to one side. They were likely getting ready to cut it and have their picture taken. In the meantime, the waiter, holding a bottle of champagne, spun around and slammed it down on the table so that the bubbles could shoot into the air. It was a clever and theatrical moment, but it had consequences. The 5-tier cake perhaps wasn't as sturdy as expected, and the top 3 tiers started leaning to one side before the entire stand fell over, taking the whole cake with it. The cake fell onto the ground, with absolutely none of it appearing to be salvageable. Many people in the comments section, when the video was uploaded to the internet, said it wasn't the waiter's fault because the cake looked unstable to begin with. Number 2. Spilling. Most people would agree that working in the service industry is one of the hardest jobs you'll ever do. When you're not dealing with rude customers, you sometimes have to put up with horrible managers. And then there are moments like these that threaten to tip you over the edge. Many servers and waitstaff have been in a position where they've had to carry multiple drinks to a table. Doing it in one trip saves time and ensures everyone gets their drinks simultaneously, but carrying multiple heavy drinks on a single serving tray can be risky business, as many have found out. In one video, a man serving drinks in a pub in Ireland tipped over just a few drinks while delivering a whole tray of them to a table. When he returned with replacements for the drinks he had spilled, he tipped all of those over before even making it back to the table. A bartender in New Zealand had a similar experience. As they made their way to a table with a tray of drinks, one pint tipped over, causing the rest to topple and smash all over the floor. Fortunately, the bartender saw the funny side, as did the general manager, who burst out laughing. The man responsible for spilling the drinks said he didn't lose his job. He revealed that he was the pub's supervisor and had never dropped a full tray of drinks before. Well, there's a first time for everything. Number 3. Madonna. Name a famous show or event where everything went 100% right for everyone involved. Oh, wait, there's always at least one embarrassing moment. Do you remember when Kanye West, now known as Ye, interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech at the MTV VMAs? Cringe. Madonna had her embarrassing moment back in 2015 at the Brit Awards. She was singing while wearing an Armani cape that had been tied quite tightly because the choreographers didn't want it to fall off. When the time came for her dancers to pull off the cape, they nearly strangled her in the process. Madonna said she could either be strangled or fall, and she chose to fall. The fall was quite violent, and even though she continued singing as if nothing had happened, she suffered whiplash. During an interview, Madonna revealed that she hit the back of her head that night. She had someone with her until a.m., shining a flashlight to make sure she was okay. Madonna later went on Instagram to share that Armani had hooked her up with the beautiful cape, but that it had been tied too tightly. While thanking everyone for their good wishes, she also made it clear she wasn't happy. Giorgio Armani later made a statement, saying the wardrobe malfunction was not his fault. He explained that the cape had a hook, but Madonna wanted a tie and couldn't open it with her hands. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. Men forgetting their brooms. Our brains can do some weird things sometimes. We know how to perform basic tasks, but then our brains seem to short-circuit. Somehow, we end up in some quite embarrassing situations. For example, one man was sweeping the floor in his shop and placed the broom under his arm so he could grab the counter and sweep the mess into it. Once he had the container, he forgot where he had put the broom. He spent nearly a minute looking for it, even appearing to retrace his actions so he could remember where he had put it. He was utterly puzzled by the sudden disappearance of his broom and had to ask another employee in the store whether they had seen it. When she pointed out that it was under his arm, they both broke out in hysterical laughter, with the woman barely able to contain herself. But he was not the only person to have done that exact same thing. Another man was sweeping an outdoor area and placed the broom under his arm. He, too, forgot that he had put it there and spent a minute looking for it. Luckily for this man, he didn't embarrassingly ask someone if they had seen it. After running through his actions in his head, he eventually worked out that it was under his arm. Number 5. Snake. Milking snakes might seem like an absurd job, but we're not milking them for milk as we might with a cow, sheep, or goat. We're milking them for their venom so that we can produce anti-venom to save people's lives. People who do this job for a living are putting their own lives at risk every day. When herpetologist George Van Horn was extracting venom during a milking show at Reptile World Serpentarium in Florida in 2010, the eastern rattlesnake he was milking managed to bite him. He didn't lose his cool, but he likely realized how much trouble he was in. The bite of an eastern diamond-backed rattlesnake is not only painful, but it can also be fatal. The toxins in the venom kill red blood cells and cause tissue damage. George had to receive treatment right away, or he could die. According to some reports, George was treated at a St. Cloud hospital and was fine. The Serpentarium he works at is a major facility for collecting venom for anti-venom treatment, and George happened to benefit from his own work. Believe it or not, this snake is not the first deadly one that George has been bitten by. In 1997, he was handling a king cobra he said was his best producer and was bitten 4 times before he managed to get the cobra off him. He spent 33 days in the hospital for that bite and never regained full use of his left arm. Number 6. Yellow paint truck driver has a bad day. Having an accident of any kind will ruin your day, but having one with a truck carrying yellow paint is really going to destroy it. While we're not entirely sure what led to the accident, 2 trucks, including one carrying gallons of yellow paint for road marking, collided on the M4 in the Tula region of Russia. This motorway, known as the Don, is one of the busiest in Russia. The truck carrying the paint was rear-ended by another truck at full speed, causing the paint to tip out all over the road and end up in the cab of the truck driver who hit the paint truck. He and his cab were entirely painted yellow to the point where he looked like a character from The Simpsons. According to the Mirror in the UK, the accident was so dramatic that pots of paint fell all over the fast lane and resulted in a massive tailback of traffic before the partially tolled expressway was cleared. As horrible as the accident was for both drivers, particularly for the one who got a face full of paint, many people found it hilarious. Footage of it was uploaded to YouTube and received hundreds of thousands of views. It was even aired on talk shows. Number 7. Misspelled road marking. Our digital spell checkers correct us when we make a spelling mistake in an email or a Word document, but we don't have anything like that when spelling words in real life. You would at least hope that if you were in charge of creating permanent road markings, you'd double-check the spelling before painting. Otherwise, you're up a certain creek without a paddle, since paint can take a long time to fade. Contractors in Newark, Nottinghamshire, UK, were left red-faced after misspelling the word only on the road. They had spelled it only, and it doesn't take a genius to know that's wrong. Apparently, the Nottinghamshire County Council was disappointed at the mistake and asked subcontractors to fix it. But the story went viral. One commenter said, "There's no spell checker on a paintbrush," and they'd be correct. But this isn't even the first time such a mistake has been made. A large school sign painted outside a school to get drivers to slow down was also spelled wrong. They had spelled it shul, proving that perhaps they might need to step back inside that building before doing any more of those sign painting tasks. So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this timestamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.